Hello, lovely people. How are we doing? Actually, just wanted to see the microphone that is coming up. And if you guys can hear me, I don't know if sound is coming on. Hello, hello. Let me. Hello. I can see. Let me know if you can hear me. I am using a different mic, testing all the different sounds with you guys so that we can really nail it. Let me know if you can hear me. And if not, I'm going to pop off and then pop in again on a brand new video. I'll carry on talking till someone lets me know. Maybe. It looks like, oh, yes. Okay, great. Great. Hi, happy Friday. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are viewing in from, whether it is live or the replay. I wanted to end off our first week together. How fun. I wanted to end off our first week by sharing with you. Hello, good morning, Merit. I wanted to end off our first week together by sharing with you how we close off our weeks as time hackers. Hi, Beth. How we close off our weeks as time hackers. Now, what's really important is not every week is going to be perfect. We are not going to do all the things that we said we were going to do like robots. We aren't going to avoid any failures. We're not going to be perfect. We're going to be human. And it doesn't matter. Like, it actually doesn't matter. The goal is never to have the perfect week. The goal is really to always be learning from that, and it's just like an easy way to always be adapting and moving forward, instead of what we can so often do when the week hasn't gone how we wanted it to go is think, well, I fucked this up. Let me go drown my sorrows in the cookie jar. That's the word I'm thinking of, in the cookie jar, and forget this week even happened. And what we do when we do that is we miss out on the juiciest part of the week, in my opinion, which is the opportunity to really learn and improve and get to know ourselves better, get to know our triggers so that we can problem solve and approach them better in the future. Like, I want you to think about it like this. Like, we are always going to be coming up against obstacles provided by a brain that's wired for a different time. It's wired for survival 40,000 years ago, long before Facebook and computers and technology and even apartment buildings, definitely microphones. So, it's designed for a different time. Nothing has gone wrong. We can still succeed. We can still have joy and pleasure. We can still have fun. We just want to be learning about our brain as much as possible so that we can train it on purpose. That's everything that we're going to be doing together during this time. So, long way of going around of saying, I want to leave you guys with the supercharged way to close off any week. You've guessed it. It's 3 power questions. You know how I love my power questions. So it's 3 power questions that you can answer. And if you are live, feel free to drop your answers live as we go, and I will give you feedback. We can discuss them. If you are on a replay, also drop your answers or post them in a separate post, and I'm happy to give you feedback as well. I want you to know that, like, I'm here to engage with you so that you get the most out of this community. Let us, me and my experts, I've got experts in this room too, let us guide you and help you, and we are here for you. Like, don't be in this group thinking, I would love to ask this, but I don't want to, or I don't know if this is going to sound stupid or not. I promise you, we all sound stupid. Okay, so are you ready for the first question? Very simple. What we want to start with is always asking ourselves what we are celebrating this week and why. And I invite you here to really be detailed, to really really look for the little things that your brain might dismiss and sit in them. And nothing is too small, right? It can literally be like, I went to the supermarket and did the shop, and they had my favorite cantaloupe melon, whatever it might be. That's random. It can literally be anything. It can be a nice conversation you had. It can be getting outside when the sun was shining. It can be finishing a project that you've been working on for a while. It can be having a moment to laugh with your kids. It can be connecting with an old friend, like literally whatever it is. It doesn't just have to be work related. It doesn't have to be around a goal. It doesn't have to be something, really obvious. It can literally be like, what am I celebrating? What felt good? What am I proud of this week? And I really, like I say, encourage you to be detailed here and sit in success, because our brain, as I mentioned on a previous video, doesn't think success is very important, but it is literally a confidence hacker. Like the more you celebrate, the more success you are going to create, I promise you. So really enjoy and spend time there. And it's even more important that we do that because the next question, yes, Merit, I had the best Thanksgiving day with my in-laws yesterday. So fun. I would love to really, really sit in that. What made it the best day? How did you experience it? How were you feeling? What was fun? Was there a certain conversation that was fun? Was there food that was fun? Do you feel like you've built a really amazing relationship with them? Really sit in it on purpose. It's so good to do that. And I spent an hour FaceTiming my brother and sister last night. So good. I love it. So fun. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, those things that we think FaceTime, if you enjoy things in your week, sit in them, sit in that pleasure, sit in that joy, sit in the success of the relationships that you've created. The more you do that, the more you are teaching your brain that you can create results you want. Like I said, it just turbocharges everything. And it prepares us for the second question, which is what fuck ups happened, right? What maybe didn't go to plan? What do we wish, we would have done differently? What, really sitting in, what didn't I get done? How did I not show up how I wanted to show up? What is my non-judgmental, non-bitchy, kind of judgment, non-judgmental, non-bitchy. Sorry, I have pregnancy brain. Non-judgmental, non-bitchy, analysis of what fuck ups happened, right? It can be, well, I actually burnt toast this week. We had a laugh about it, but I burnt toast this week. It might seem something really little. Again, it doesn't just have to be work related. Where did you say you were going to do something and you didn't do it? And what's really important here is our brain wants to go into all the judgment. Maybe it wants to go into shame, blame, all of these non-useful things. And I want to invite you instead to be really neutral about it and then really be willing to explore why. Why did this happen? The reason why is this is so valuable, right? If we know okay, I wasn't paying attention when I put the food in the toaster because I was distracted, because I don't know, I was thinking about, the laundry. Trying to think on the spot. Doesn't work as well with pregnancy brain, let me tell you. Whatever it is, then I know in the future I can be you know what? When I put my toast in, I'm going to leave everything away and I'm just going to focus on the toast, and then it's not going to happen again. If I know that I said I was going to complete something and I didn't complete it, I can know, why didn't I complete it? Oh, because I was missing these 3 things of information. Next time, I need to make sure I have them before I say I'm going to complete this. Or because I was afraid of failing, and next time before I sit down and do it, I'm going to reframe my brain so that I'm willing to fail. And that's some of the stuff I'm going to be teaching you as well during our 30 days together. I hit a wall in my life coaching biz. I don't really know what to do next. So perfect. I know it doesn't sound perfect, but let me ask you this. What's the wall? What is that obstacle? Let's get really detailed in what exactly was your brain telling you? So we know that I don't really know what to do next, but let's just say that no one knows what to do next. And we only know what to do next by trying things, by creating a hypothesis of this is what I think I could do next, testing it, and then failing or succeeding. So what do you want your response to be? How are you going to handle that when your brain says, I don't know something? How are you going to open your brain up to testing and to be willing to get it wrong? Because typically when we're saying, I don't know, what we're really saying is, I don't want to get it wrong. Okay, so miscommunications with our 16-year-old foster child, so that ruffled up some anxiety. Yeah, so miscommunications. So what happened there? What was the miscommunication? Why did it happen? And what is there anything that you would do differently? Right, really spending time with just that curiosity of how did this happen? And what did we learn from it? That's going to make communication even better in the future, because it really is. If you guys have been following me for a while, my favorite quote is winning or learning. And it really is. These are the opportunities to learn and be improving. We are always going to be a work in progress. And that's the beautiful thing about being human. So thank you for sharing those examples. And that leads us very nicely into the third question, which is what lessons are you taking with you for next week? And the thing that I always teach my clients is not just what lessons, like communicate better or plan the communication better or have a strategy for my business, like be willing to make a guest every Monday for what I think is going to help me succeed that week. And don't worry, I'm going to give you guys my how to start the week as well. But also, how are you going to actually implement them? Because it's one thing to come up with ideas of what we can do. It's another thing to actually implement them. And so often we can know in theory and not take action. So how are you going to set yourself up to implement those things? That is the difference between like 5% learning and like 50% learning. The last 2 weeks have been super productive. And then this week I was not focused and didn't have a plan. And I haven't committed to my business goals. Right? So you know exactly what's gone on. What I would get really curious there with what changed this week being unfocused, what changed that you didn't have a plan, and what changed in terms of your commitment. Like really get really curious there. Those are going to be the things that guide you into what to do next. Like what if the only thing for you to do next is to recommit to your business goals, is to create focus and to create a plan. And it could just be that simple. And then our brain says, I don't know what to do next. But it's like you literally have the plan because you know exactly what happened in your business. That's the value of doing this. That's why it's so important to close out your week. And really, I want to encourage you all to like then make your plan for how you're going to implement it, but then leave this week behind, right? Like we don't want to spend all weekend thinking about what we did or didn't do, or the conversations we did or didn't have. So yeah, those are the 3 super questions. And I just want to remind you all that like this is your group. This is for us. Everyone here wants to see you succeed and celebrate you and support you however we can. If you want to ask me anything, you can ask Vicky. If you want to ask the experts, #AskExperts. If you want to ask the group, #AskTheGroup. We are all here for you to succeed. We all succeed by, raising the room together. It's one of the advantages of being in this kind of community. And that's it. Happy Friday. I will see you all very soon. Bye, loves.